They thought he was broken. Bleeding, bound, and alone, just another weak human. But when Lieutenant Cole Martinez smiled through split lips and whispered right on schedule, the Kraxan Empire's fate was already sealed. The interrogation chamber reeked of ozone and fear, though not his fear. Cole sat in the center, wrists bound with energy shackles that could hold a Threxian berserker. Overkill for a human, they'd laughed. Around him, 7 Kraxan officers circled like vultures, their scaled faces twisted in amusement. "Look at it," Commander Vexstar sneered, his forked tongue flicking. "The great human warrior. Where's your legendary resilience now?" Cole shifted slightly, chains rattling. A trickle of blood ran down his temple, but his eyes, those stayed sharp, calculating. "Counting. You laugh at the fire until it burns down your empire. Nothing to say, ape?" Another guard prodded him with an energy staff. "Your kind talks so much about being survivors. But you bleed like everyone else." Cole's smile widened. 43. What? 42. 41. His voice was calm, almost conversational. "You really should have searched me better." The guards exchanged glances. Vexstar stepped forward, grabbing Cole's chin. "Is that supposed to be a threat? You're chained, beaten, and 50 light-years from the nearest human ship." 37, Cole continued. "And you're wrong about the distance. Pain doesn't break us. It sharpens us." Subcommander Krill, younger than the others, felt something cold creep up his spine. "Sir, maybe we should Silence. Vexstar backhanded him. "You're as pathetic as this human. Look at him, he's delusional. Playing mind games because he has nothing else." Cole chuckled, a sound that shouldn't have been threatening but somehow was. 29. "You know what's funny about you Kraxans? You're so used to enemies who announce themselves. Big ships. Big weapons. Big threats." He leaned forward as much as the chains allowed. "You never learn to fear the quiet ones. Humans don't break under pressure. We become it." The lights flickered. Just for a second. Just enough for Krill to notice. "Sir," he whispered urgently. "The power grid is old," Vexstar dismissed. "Focus, soldier. We're about to show our prisoner what happens to spies." He activated his recorder. For the Empire's records, human soldier, designation unknown, captured after attempting to infiltrate Defense Station 7. Execution to follow. Interrogation. Cole Martinez, the human, corrected. "Lieutenant, Special Operations." "And it's 18 seconds now." 18 seconds until what?" Vexstar demanded. Cole's eyes glinted. "Until you realize I didn't try to infiltrate your station. I succeeded. You mistook silence for surrender. That was your final mistake." The lights cut out completely. Emergency power kicked in, bathing everything in red. Alarms began wailing, not just one, but dozens, cascading through the station like dominoes. Hull breach in Sector 7. Navigation systems offline. Weapons array non-responsive. In the chaos, only Krill noticed that Cole had stopped counting. That his smile had become something else entirely. When humans smile in captivity, it's not madness. It's certainty. "What did you do?" Vexstar roared, striking Cole across the face. Cole spat blood, then laughed. "Me? I've been sitting here, remember? Chained. Beaten. Harmless." He looked up and Vexstar saw something in those human eyes that made his scales prickle. "But my team? They've been very busy." The main door exploded inward. 6 figures in black armor flowed into the room like liquid death. Human special forces. They moved with surgical precision, neutralizing guards before anyone could draw weapons. In 3 seconds, only Vexstar and Krill remained standing. "You captured the wrong species." "Impossible," Vexstar breathed. "Our scanners showed you exactly what we wanted them to show," a female voice said through one of the helmets. "One human life sign. Alone. Vulnerable. Irresistible bait for your ego." Cole stood, the energy shackles falling away like water. They'd never been locked. The thing about traps, the best ones feel like victories. "You let yourself be captured," Krill whispered, understanding flooding through him. "Let myself." Cole stretched, bones popping. "Kid, I volunteered. Do you know how hard it is to get invited into a Kraxan military installation? But capture one pathetic human and suddenly you bring him right to your command center." He walked over to the console, typing with casual efficiency. Phase 1, infiltration. Phase 2, sabotage. Phase 3. The view screen lit up. Hundreds of human ships materialized from dark space surrounding the station. Liberation. Never laugh at a captured human. You might be part of their plan. Vexstar's legs gave out. The mighty commander who'd conquered systems, who'd never known defeat, knelt before a beaten, bloodied human who'd orchestrated his downfall while chained to a chair. "Kill me," Vexstar whispered. "End it with honor." Cole crouched down, meeting his eyes. No. No? You're going to live. You're going to return to your empire. And you're going to deliver a message. Mercy isn't weakness. Mercy is a warning. Cole helped him to his feet, almost gently. Tell them what happened here. Tell them how a single human brought down their strongest station. Tell them how we could have killed everyone but didn't. He leaned in close. Tell them we're not the primitive species they thought we were. We're the ones who weaponized being underestimated. Fear is a virus. And we just made you patient zero. The human team moved like ghosts, planting charges, downloading data, completing a dozen objectives while Cole spoke. Professional. Efficient. Terrifying. Take your subordinate and go, Cole ordered. Escape pods are still functional. For now. Krill grabbed Vexstar's arm, pulling him toward the exit. At the doorway he turned back. Why show mercy? Cole's smile was different now. Sadder. More human. Because dead enemies teach nothing. Living witnesses teach everything. The greatest victory isn't defeating your enemy. It's making them grateful you didn't. As their pod ejected, Krill watched the station, the Empire's pride, their unbreachable fortress, burn from within. Not destroyed, but crippled. Humiliated. A monument to arrogance brought low by 7 humans and 1 soldier willing to bleed for the mission. Sir, Krill said quietly as they drifted toward the nearest Kraxan ship. What do we tell High Command? Vexstar stared at the human fleet, now uncloaking fully. Where they'd expected 1 ship, hundreds waited. Where they'd seen weakness, strength had been hiding. The truth, he said finally. We tell them the truth. They sent 1 man. 1 man who smiled while we tortured him. 1 man who counted down our doom like a bedtime story. The pod's communicator crackled. Cole's voice, calm as ever, Commander Vexstar? Next time you want to interrogate a human, remember something. A pause. We've been training for interrogation since before we left our caves. Pain is our oldest teacher. And patience? A chuckle. Patience is our deadliest weapon. You thought you captured a soldier. You captured a time bomb with a pulse. The connection cut. The human fleet vanished into hyperspace, leaving the crippled station and 2 survivors with a story no one would believe. Except they would. Because the station's security footage, all of it was already broadcasting across the Empire's networks. Every moment. Every laugh. Every dismissive sneer at the weak human. And that final image, Lieutenant Cole Martinez, bloodied but unbroken, walking out of their strongest prison like it was a revolving door. The Empire had learned a lesson written in fire and humiliation. Never laugh at a captured human. They might be exactly where they want to be. In the escape pod, Krill looked at his commander, once proud, now hollow-eyed with understanding. Sir, what are humans? Vexstar closed his eyes, seeing that smile. That terrible, knowing smile. They're the species that turns weakness into weapons. That bleeds for purpose. That loses battles to win wars. He opened his eyes, looking at the stars where the human fleet had vanished. They're the reason the galaxy will never be the same. Today, the Empire laughed at 1 human. Tomorrow, they'll fear the sound of human laughter. And somewhere in hyperspace, Cole Martinez sat in the medical bay letting medics fuss over injuries that had been worth every second. His team had extracted terabytes of data, crippled the Empire's primary defense hub, and sent a message that would echo through 1,000 systems. All because the enemy had made 1 crucial mistake. They'd laughed at a captured human soldier. They'd lived to regret it. But more importantly, they'd lived to remember it.